My favourite podcast is where we sit in silence and we don't talk.
Okay, you can talk now.
Really? Is it a podcast?
Is it No.
All right, we're away.
It's a performed art piece.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Before You Jump. I'm coming through incredibly loud on these headphones.
No, it's just life. I reckon you're just loud in life.
You need to be loud.
Is that like a podcast thing? Like
What?
just sit in silence? Has that been done?
A silent podcast.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to listen to that while
You
I
download
sleep.
it. It's like 90 gig.
90 gigs.
70 hours
And
long.
there's no sound.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What about the sound of them breathing?
Every now and again you get like a...
Oh.
There's no continuous breathing sound?
No. But I reckon what would be good is every
I
now and
reckon you
again...
should add that.
You know that
Help
breath you
us,
take when you're going to start a sentence?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Like that. That's what they should... Oh, no.
What about that series of breathing events that happen when you're about to ejaculate? Or jumping into a cold pool. Actually, well, that should be. That's
What-
Oh,
what does
there's
that sound?
definitely that would jump to a cold pool.
Imagine if that was your continuous breathing.
That'll be a nightmare.
Do you remember that kid
You
from
just
Malcolm
pass
in the
out.
Middle? And that...
Malcolm?
No.
One of the titles.
His friend, and he had to like breathe in between every word. He's like, Malcolm, what are you
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
do about?
I feel like him sometimes.
Yeah. Cows looks like him sometimes.
Damn.
Who?
I don't know.
Malcolm.
I look like Malcolm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the guy in the middle?
Frankie Muniz,
Yeah.
who had like a massive car accident and ended up like with brain damage for a
Yeah,
while.
I heard about that.
But then got better, and now he's like,
He's just
Now he's balling rich.
chilling.
yeah,
He's chilling.
he is bull and rich.
He made smart investments, didn't he? Did you see him on the Steve O
Yeah.
podcast? He bought blocks of land in the inner city and turned them into parking lots.
Yeah, made a fortune.
Which
Clever.
is
Good
smart
job, Malcolm.
because if anyone has parked in like central Wellington or Auckland before, well, no, that's expensive shit.
It is.
Expensive shit.
It is expensive shit.
How much does it cost at the hospital?
It's $2 after the first 40 minutes.
That's
That's
why.
not-
That's why visits are so quick. Hey, how's it going? Gotta fly. Bye.
That's why when every time I came to see
Kids, we've got
Cows,
8 minutes.
I would look at I'd be like, yep.
We've got
Time
8
to,
minutes.
Kels, can you wrap that up? I gotta
yeah,
go.
that's good and all, but
Fucking Uncle Cal's cost us $2, kids, because there'll be no lunch tomorrow.
yeah, that's it.
Fucking hell, Kels.
Welcome to the show, everyone. You'll notice that Siobhan is here. Hello,
Hi.
Siobhan. So, Siobhan, we've got a camera right in front of you there,
Oh my god.
and
I didn't
another
notice.
one over there on
Yep.
the green, in case you feel like facing people and looking at
There we
them.
go.
Cows, I owe you an apology.
Oh, it's still up.
It's still up because I only got paid yesterday. And I didn't think... I thought when I reached out to you, I was like, do you guys want to record Wednesday or Friday? I had a feeling you guys would be like, Friday. And you're both like, tomorrow? And I'm like, oh, well.
That was Kels.
What do you have to apologise
on Friday
for?
night.
The blue is still up behind you. The sparkly blue here
Oh,
that you said is like a
He's very
teenager.
bothered by it, guys, if you can't tell.
Oh, he's so upset.
He's so pissed.
yeah.
Yeah, so that happened.
I didn't.
Or didn't
what I
happen.
didn't foresee was after saying, "Yeah, let's do tomorrow night."
Yeah,
In between saying that and now,
yep.
I've just I've been like,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Bummed out.
But by the time I was awake, it was 6 p.m. It was 6 o'clock this evening.
Just in
I'm
time,
not
man.
gonna be like,
He's
hey
rolling up
guys.
just in time.
I'm like, hey guys, count me out tonight. Not feeling well. That would be such a douche move, even though it would be legitimate.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it, if I'm being honest.
Have you guys been in that situation where you agree to go to some social event that really you are the reason why it's happening at that time, and then 12 hours later, or 24 hours later when the time comes, you're not feeling well?
I don't have any
Kind of.
social events that are all about me.
Yeah, I wouldn't say social events, definitely shows.
Yeah, I've done that. It's
Yeah.
not a good feeling.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly that point then. Yeah, it was-
Yeah.
Definitely shows. I've agreed to do shows and then been like, ugh.
yeah.
I felt really bad for Sing It Wrong.
Yeah.
I had almost completely prepared something to do, and a couple days out, I was like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
I'm really feeling off. I feel
Yeah.
like shit. I could barely walk or sit down at the time.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that further later, and it'll be very relevant. But
Yeah.
I felt so bad because I was like, I'm not even going to be able to like sit down because I'm in that much pain or
Wow.
anything. So I had to cancel, and it felt so shitty. It was the first time I'd actually cancelled on like a pro gig.
Pro gig, yeah.
Wasn't fun.
And that's a shitty thing. Like, if it's an open mic, it's one thing.
Whatever,
Because it's
yeah.
like, well, look, we're not getting paid.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah, the spaces can be filled pretty easy.
Yeah, it's not even about like not getting paid that I missed
Yeah.
out on. Yeah, because with an open mic, it's meant to be a very chill environment.
Yeah.
So it's fine. It's like if you pull out, it's like, well, yeah, things are always moving.
Yeah.
Things are always happening.
Yeah,
But
can everyone do one more minute to make up for the time?
Yeah,
sort of
whereas
thing?
with the pro show, they've asked you to go on.
Yeah.
They've planned and prepped out the run of the show
Yeah.
to put you in a specific place. They might have even picked certain performers because they knew they'd blend with what you do.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's also like
just,
with Sing It Wrong as well. It's not like they could ring, like I wasn't on Sing It Wrong. It's not like they could ring me and be like, hey, can you just fill a 6 minute, do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
can you just write a whole song
Yeah,
and,
it's like,
and
no.
set it up
Yeah.
real quick? Yeah.
no, I can't do that.
Exactly.
But I mean, shit happens. What are you
Shit
gonna
does
do?
happen, but I definitely know the feeling where it's
Yeah.
like, I really wish I didn't do that, but I
Yeah.
technically didn't have a choice, so it's, yeah.
So you wanted to come on?
Always.
Yeah.
Big listener.
Before we do that, can we do a quick before you eat
Ooh.
segment? Can I do a quick before you eat?
Hell yeah.
Because I feel afterwards it'll be
Let's do it.
detracting from your story.
I can just imagine.
Yeah, but
that.
that's nice. Let me
Yeah,
tell you about
that's a
this
crazy
bun I
thing that
had.
happened. So, food recos.
Yeah.
It must be a bit of a major if you interject it like that. Like, before you go any further,
Yeah.
I want to talk about something I ate.
Yeah, I just want to get it in
And
quick.
I'd be like, this is
Yeah.
clearly more important,
This
so
must
go
be.
on.
This must be
No, I just don't want to take away from the vibe.
Yeah, no,
Later.
the vibes would be a bit weird. I was thinking we could, if we got nothing else, I could finish with like a silly injury story because I have a bunch
Okay,
of
well, I
those,
would like that.
just to kind of bump the mood back up after this episode.
I love some silly injury stories.
I have so many, and you already know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some of them are
You
awesome.
could probably think of the one that I'd
Yeah.
probably choose to. Yeah.
Just before we go on, Rang Raz, which is mine and Cal's favourite Indian place, and
Mm.
hopefully everyone who's watching this, it's yours too. They have a new thing called a pie. Pies aren't new. They now have pies.
Crazy
But they're not
thing.
like Kiwi pies, where it's just pastry. They have, and I'd love to know if there's something they actually have in India. It's like a burger bun filled with curry and rice that's been tempura battered and deep fried.
Damn.
And I had one of those for lunch today with lamb korma. Did I mention it was lamb?
lamb korma. Okay.
It was nice. It was real good. So if you want to, it was $7, and it was huge. Like, it was big. It was real
I really
big.
want to try
So-
that. Sounds
Yeah.
good as hell.
I also went back to Sal's Pizza
Yeah.
All right.
because I love Sal's, but when they came to Palmy, they sucked,
Yeah.
and I wrote them off. And I was like, no,
Yeah, same.
can't
Yeah.
do that.
So when did you go back this week?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
I got the special where it's $12 and you get a cheese and a pepperoni. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got 2 of the scrolls, not the garlic knots, the salami
The
scrolls.
salami
Oh,
scrolls,
I didn't know they had
Ah,
salami
Salami.
scrolls.
And then
So how
Jen-
was it though?
That was amazing.
Compared
And
to
Jen
all good
got
sales,
still not as good.
but up, it's getting there.
It's all
Because
okay.
they're in the still written off stage for me. Like,
Are they?
So it's actually, I'm glad you brought this up. Like,
So we also got the mozzarella. No, what's it called? We were just speaking Italian, and all my Italian's gone.
Mamma mia.
What's the cheese called that stretchy one? Mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
Yeah,
No, there's no.
Mozzarella.
They're like, no, it's mozzarella. There's no
yeah,
There's no
yeah.
ah there.
Yeah.
Mozzarella.
mozzarella.
Well, it was those sticks.
Mozzarella.
It was
There's
cheese
no-
sticks.
there's no A at the end. Italians don't enunciate the last
Yeah.
noise.
It was.
Mozzarella. They just trail off.
It was those sticks. You know what I mean? Like cheese sticks
There we go. Just
with marinara sauce.
Just those
Sticks.
fucking sticks.
They're
Yeah.
just sticks.
Because my favorite Sal's pizza is the 5 boroughs,
Yeah.
Oh, that one's good.
and
But then I had it when they moved, when we got cells, and it sucked.
yeah,
So,
same for me.
I know what you mean.
So I only had it one, because like let's be honest, like Sal's isn't at a price point where you can fuck around too much.
No, you have to
No,
be good.
you gotta know.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that's like Hell's Pizza. I don't mind it being a little pricier than the
'Cause,
average
yeah.
pizza places because you get better quality.
Because
And, like-
Wendy's was the same when it came to Palmy.
Yeah.
When Wendy's came to Palmy, it was so bad, like, which pissed me off because I was just down the road from it. But at the same time, I'm not gonna like at that price. I'm not gonna go and fuck around with my money like a week later. So I gave it. It
You
took
gotta trust that it's good.
It took about a year for Wendy's to get on par with Auckland Wendy's. So when sales, like the first time that when they opened here and I got some, I'm like, it's not very nice. I was just thinking, well, we're gonna give it a bit of time, I guess. And so you're saying that it's getting there. Sales.
Yeah, like
That's good.
when we got it the first time.
'Cause I want a really good 5 boroughs, like
Yeah.
Auckland 5 boroughs.
When we got it the first time, the base was like overcooked and crispy.
Oh,
The
crispy.
garlic scrolls were burned at the bottom.
Yeah,
We
they
got
were.
them. I was
So
like,
we didn't get garlic rolls this time, but the pizza wasn't burnt,
hell yeah,
and
we're moving on
the
up.
crust was a bit softer, but the dough was still like chewy. So Sal's, when you get it like welly,
Yeah.
it's quite soft and nice.
I do find that.
It's getting there.
We're slowly moving up.
So I'm gonna give it I'll give it 3 more weeks. and
I'm
then
gonna
go
do 3
again.
months.
Wow.
I'm gonna wait.
But fuck, was it good?
Yeah, I'm
That's
gonna wait.
good.
I'm gonna wait a while.
Yeah, I had it and I was like, this is really average. This is not. And yeah, we had the garlic scrolls. They were burnt at the bottom. I had to like pound down water in between each bite. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll wait.
Especially for that money, that level of money.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that place Shakeout.
I've been there.
Yeah.
See, like they've got burger fuel prices, but if you're gonna spend burger fuel prices, you might as well go to fucking
Burger Fuel.
But
Yeah,
burger
they-
fuel is the only place that don't deliver.
Yeah.
They
it's
keep in
annoying.
there. They keep in. I reckon they
They
keep their
know.
standards. Like they're like, no, we're not gonna fuck around with our standards just to
Yeah.
take it to your door.
Yeah.
We're not
Come-
lower.
you
We're not
come
going
to
to your
us.
level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not gonna stoop down to that level.
You come to
Plebs,
us.
you fucking civilian plebs. you have to come up to our level. Burger Fuel, we're up here.
Yeah.
Deliver easy. Imagine being a rep for Uber Eats going into Burger Fuel. Hi, I'm Roger from Uber Eats.
Yeah.
Like, get out.
Yeah.
You're
They
not welcome
compromise
there.
their art.
Yeah, you don't fuck with. Yeah, but
All right. That's before you eat. That's all I want to get out.
all
Before
right.
you eat.
Oh, that was informative because I wanted to know about that person.
Yeah.
So wait 3 weeks for sales.
I'm going to give it 3 or 4
Yeah.
weeks, and then I'm going to go back and do it again. I don't want to leave it too long because I want to make sure they stay in business.
You wait too long.
They're gone.
Yeah, that's
that's
it.
a good point.
And then I'm
That's a good
We
fucked.
just had
You
one
gotta
more
support
customer.
them. Yeah.
We would have survived. It was like,
We've got to wait for Dylan.
I really want them to be like, I really want to go in and be like, look, if you're going to close down, could you call me a few days? Because I will come and order like
Yeah,
3 or 4
I'll bring your
boxes.
business back if it's
No,
still good.
I'll just get 3 or 4 boxes for the freezer.
Oh yeah, nice.
And like break them up into like slices so I can just heat up a slice. You know, before they go.
you need to contact them.
I think I do. Maybe we should get them to sponsor us as well.
Oh yeah, and be like, hey guys,
Would you sponsor us? They're like, no, we sponsor the NBL. And so we'll go see
exactly.
Burger Fuel.
If you're wanting to sponsor the NB fucking L, I used to play in the NB fucking L. It's not a big deal. You could fucking sponsor us.
I'd love Burger Fuel to sponsor
You
us. Though.
burnt
That'll
my.
be a
You
great
burnt
spot.
my fucking my scrolls.
that's fucked up.
You sponsor me
Morgan
now.
was
You
not
sponsor me
happy.
now. You know what? You know what?
You know
sponsor
how
me
that
now.
man is about his scrolls.
You know, you sponsor me
Especially after the hype that like cheesy garlic scrolls are held.
Exactly.
For
Oh,
those-
oh yeah, they're up.
Yeah.
Good.
I sorry.
Have you had the buffalo wings here yet?
Who?
Sal's.
No. Well, if they can't get the basics right,
Yeah.
They ain't gonna get wings right.
yeah, they
Yeah,
did get the
true.
mozzarella sticks
I,
right.
that's
Though.
a whole reason why I didn't go that far. I'm like, if you're gonna fuck up my pizza,
Yeah.
You'll probably fuck up my
Come on.
wings.
don't fuck up my chicken because I
Yeah.
was sick.
That's one thing you really can't
Chicken
afford
and
to
pork,
fuck up.
chicken and pork, man, it better be cooked so much it's obliterated before I can eat it.
Anyway, there you go. That's before you eat. On to the show. So
On that
Siobhan, you
thing.
came. You wanted. I don't know how you want to start this, but like, do you want me to question? Is this an interview, or
That
would
might
you like to just
that
go?
might be less awkward.
Okay.
We can get into
So,
it.
you've been on the show before.
Yeah,
Have you done a whole episode, or have you just done the 24?
I was on the 24-hour
Okay.
for like,
Oh,
and I think
cool.
I spoke
First
for like
ep.
20 or 30
She
minutes.
was first
Yeah.
step.
So this is your first full ep.
Yeah,
So you've
boy.
got like quite a background of like mental health,
Yeah.
like sexuality. I hope you don't mind me saying that.
Yeah, I'm gay.
Yeah, I know that's cool. That's what I mean. Like,
I'm gonna scream it.
as you should. Fuck yeah. And stuff.
And stuff. And
A
other
lot
stuff.
for a person your age.
Yeah.
And I mean that with all due respect, like,
No, I get it.
because like we've been through shit, but we're old. Like I'm damn near double you.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Double me.
Age and girth.
Girth.
Yeah, stomach girth. I mean, So like in your short time, like you've been through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just showing us your script, which you picked up.
Yeah, I'll
So-
show the team.
Yeah.
Wait.
Let them know, because this is insane. Because I thought I'm on one pill for mental health,
So I get them delivered to my house.
which is awesome, by the way.
Yeah, Grant Irvine, the only place that does it.
Really.
It was a great thing that they set up.
Well,
So
shout
they
out to them.
they deliver every Wednesdays,
Yeah.
and I'm usually not home, so I just told them to put it in my mailbox. So I come home to a huge thing of pills in my mailbox.
That's amazing.
Hopefully, no one finds out what my address are.
No, well, we don't
Snatches
give
them
a-
up. But
Yeah.
yeah, we got a little present.
Yeah.
I've got 4 prescriptions in here. This is
Yeah.
a week's worth. This isn't like.
Come bring the bag in a bit more. There you go. Yeah.
And then we got a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm not going to open it more because got my details on there.
Yeah,
but
we don't want to give that away. So, so just before we jump into more, like your life between when you started those and now, how have you? Because we were talking about this last week.
Yeah.
Like, what has been the change, or has there been change?
Yeah, it's been interesting. So, yeah, 3 of the 4 meds are completely new. And
Yeah.
I started them all around the same time.
Yeah.
Because I've been on chronic pain medication for a wee bit for the past, like, couple years. But obviously we'll get into it, but while I was in mental health ward,
Yeah.
they put me on 3 medications.
Yeah.
And they had to, like, fast titrate. So, so titrate just means they slowly increase the dose. They usually do it every week.
Oh, okay.
Because of my situation, they want to monitor it. They titrated every day.
Wow.
So they increased my dose every day when you're supposed to do it every week. So
Yeah.
it's basically like times 7 titrating. So I dealt with a lot of really gnarly side effects.
Yeah.
And I felt like a zombie for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So my antidepressant that I started on, it gave me really bad tremors. I still get them. So that's kind of my my baseline is they were worse than that.
Yeah.
And I had that for a while, and my sleeping was really messed up. Usually I don't have problems staying asleep, it's usually getting to sleep, but I
Sure.
would wake up every 2 hours
Yeah.
every single night, and that was from the antidepressant.
Yeah.
But they also started me on ADHD medication a couple days after they started the antidepressant stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sure anyone who has experience with ADHD medication, they can be pretty aggressive with their symptoms,
Okay.
depending on how you react to it.
Yeah.
Because they're a stimulant, so just like caffeine is a stimulant.
Yeah.
So they're gonna make your heart rate go up quite a
Yeah.
bit usually. They're really a really common side effect is decreased appetite. Even in the way that like weight loss is expected when you
Wow.
take it. And that was really bad. Everything I would eat, I'd feel nauseous. I could barely even get the energy to put the food in my mouth. That's how low my appetite was.
Wow.
And so I'd have to find foods that were easy to shove down. So I had like up and goes, those kind of things where it was like whatever I can get in there. Like
Yeah.
rice cakes, I found those were easy
Oh,
to just
okay.
mindlessly eat.
Yeah.
Rice pudding. But looking into it, I probably had less than 500 calories every day,
Wow.
and I felt full.
Yeah.
And because of that, I had really low energy. I would get really exhausted and
Yeah.
faint easier. So it was
Right.
all that kind of mixed together while trying to readjust to life out of the hospital and all that. And it was pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
But I can say that they've fully adjusted in my body now, and I'm really glad I'm on them.
Yeah.
The ADHD medication has changed my life.
Wow. That's a big statement.
Exactly. Yeah. It's very different for everyone with ADHD, but for me,
Sure.
I noticed such a huge difference.
Yeah.
And even I went and saw my mum in Invercargill a couple weeks ago, and she was saying to me, she's like, you are a completely different person.
Yeah.
And for her to say that definitely says a lot.
Pretty big.
For her to, and I'm less cranky at people. I found that's really easy with ADHD, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It feels like so much less overwhelming to complete tasks, and my focus retains so well, and I absorb information so well.
Yeah.
Like, I was doing a lecture yesterday, and I would look at the slide on my lecture, and I'd be able to look down and type completely that out and just remember exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I used to be like that. I actually used to have like a photographic memory.
Yeah.
From like age 5 to 8, and then it just kind of faded away. But I feel like it's coming back a little bit.
That's awesome.
That'd be really handy for uni.
Yeah. And have you found like, but you're also on like an antidepressant?
I started a new antidepressant. Yeah.
And that's better, worse, good,
indifferent? Yeah, it's been
slow ride.
It's been interesting because it's like taking 2 completely new medications almost at the exact same time.
Yeah.
You kind of have to be like, well, what? What's doing what?
Yeah.
I went off of my antidepressants last May.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a good idea in hindsight. I really felt like shit and I didn't even really notice it.
Yeah.
And that was escitalopram, which I believe you're on.
Which is what I'm on, yeah.
Yeah, so I got put on antidepressants when I was 17.
Yeah.
And that was my GP who put me on them. And we tried, what is it called? Sertraline.
Okay.
And I was actually allergic to it.
Oh.
I got hives.
Bugger.
It was crazy. So she put me off those really quick, and then we switched to citalopram. And then a year later, we went up to escitalopram.
Yeah.
And I'm now on a different type of antidepressant. Yeah. So I don't know how familiar you are with all that.
No, not at all.
So what you're on is like an SSRI.
Yeah, I've been told that, yeah.
Serotonin focused, but there's another class called SNRIs, and I believe the N stands for norepinephrine. Okay. So they function slightly differently.
Yeah.
And I think these ones are better for me because I've never had issues with serotonin. I've had issues with things like dopamine and the thing called norepinephrine. So those two are tend to have issues with people with ADHD. Those are the 2 chemicals that we don't balance very well. Yeah. So I've kind of felt like the ADHD medication and the antidepressants are finally in harmony with each other. Yeah. So the depression stuff keeps me, out of the low mood and the low self-talk and things like that. But the Ritalin just keeps my motor going, really. Yeah. No, they're good. I like the antidepressants. Cool. And my sleep has been better than ever. Wow. So that's a new thing. Yeah. So this all came about because you were in a lot of pain from your wrists, but other things. Yeah, there was a lot going on. I know you and I have talked about your wrists before. And I don't want to step on your story. You had enough. Yeah. Yeah. So you take it away. Yeah. I don't want to step on your shit. You know I'm trying to think where the best starting point is without getting into too much. Yeah. So I was born. Yeah. I guess I started getting wrist pain last February. Yeah. Assumed I sprained it while having a seizure because I was like, I don't remember what happened. That was the assumption I made. Yeah. They weren't sure what was going on, but it wasn't a fracture or anything. Yeah. Physical therapy sorted that out. I got a huge lump appear last July. It was probably that you can probably see the other lump, but it was that big maybe. Yeah. It was quite massive and a bit concerning. From there, lump kept going up, down, and I kept getting really bad pain. Yeah. And random times, like in November, it would completely stiffen up, no mobility at all, hurts like a bitch. Yeah. It would probably, I imagine it's what a fracture would feel like. Yeah. And then that pain started spreading. Yeah. So shoulders, wrists, fingers, knees, ankles, and eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Yeah. But yeah, the joints. Yeah. And that's been really intense. Yeah. And basically around May, I think it was around May, I started getting it's called a pilonidal cyst. It is it sits in a cavity around the tailbone. It's like way more common in men. I was just really unlucky, I guess. And yeah, I you could probably imagine how bad a cyst sitting at your tailbone area is, because obviously cysts hurt when you put pressure on them.
And that's everything.
And that every tailbone, you use that a lot.
Yeah.
Every time I sat down, every time I lied down on my back, and to a point when I was walking, I could feel the pressure just when my legs were moving.
Yeah.
So every time I finally got out of bed, the only way I could sit was to position myself, lie down sideways, and just on a couch.
Gotcha, yeah.
So I was like that, in pain, and I had a really bad reaction. They put me on, like antibacterial, I would say. Wait, what's the... It's probably that. Okay. Let's say it's probably that. But I guess the point being is I was like vomit diarrhea. Yeah. So I had that on top of the cyst. Oh, so God. I just felt disgusting. I didn't feel like a person. And I was missing out on my uni work. Yeah. So my drive wasn't there either, because that's a lot of what keeps me going. Yeah. And yeah, like I eventually just got to a point where I was lying down in bed about to fall asleep, and I'm like, I don't know how long this is going to last for. Yep. And then I got to a point where I was like, do I want to even wait and see? Yeah. I guess. Very fast, you're able to make those... Anyone who's been suicidal knows how scarily fast that whole... Maybe this is logical, maybe that's logical. Yeah. Right at the bottom. Yeah. It happens so fast.
Yeah, and you start trying to justify shit.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's scary how easy it is to justify and try to add logic to your insane thinking. Yeah. So yeah, I told myself, I was like, if I'm not feeling better by Wednesday, I gave myself a timeline. Yeah. Then I'm gonna end it. Yeah. And all this. And so there was about 5 days between me thinking about doing it and me actually doing it. Yeah. That whole time I guess you could say I was getting my affairs in order. Yeah. So I was talking to people that I would want to talk to before I go. Yeah. I cleaned up my whole room because I don't want people to have to worry about my insanely messy room. Why, that's not fair to leave that on them. I had photos saved, and I drafted my suicide letter. Wow. And I was like, I'm going to make sure it's properly done. Yeah. I took all my pills out of the blister packet and put it in one single thing. Yeah. I planned my outfit. I completely planned everything. I planned alternatives if the first option didn't work.
Do you think all that planning as well was just trying to a distraction from the pain?
It helped in a weird way, yeah. Because a part of the thinking you have before you attempt suicide, or when your suicidal thoughts start, is it starts to become kind of calming. Yeah. In a really scary way, because if something bothers you, you can immediately go, I'm going to die in a few days anyway, so it actually doesn't matter. Yeah. And I actually apply that thinking to my now alive self and stuff too. Because I guess you could apply that thinking when you're not about to die, because you're going to die anyway. Yes. Obviously applied in a different way, but you could very well be upset about something and go, I'm going to die at some point. Yeah. Obviously not encouraging people to go through what I'd went through, but I guess, that was kind of the distraction and the way to make myself feel better about what was happening. Yeah. Definitely.
So then what happens then? You wake up and you're in hospital, or someone comes in, slaps you around, and...
Pretty close to that, really.
A nurse comes and slaps you.
Yeah.
I always think of that scene in Trainspotting. Yeah. Where she's slapping him, going, wake up! And I'm like,
yeah, that's what happened.
That's so hot.
I went off really early in the morning to go do it.
Yeah.
Because I thought through everything. I was like, I don't want to do it at my house because I don't want anyone to find me. You don't want to put it on
other people, yeah.
Yeah, so I walked to, like, the river, you know, kind of where the bridge is, where the cars go past. So I was around there, 5 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
So I was like, I want a time that I won't be kind of seen. So, 5 a.m. in the morning, I come over, I have a backpack full of stuff. Like, I have my cat's ashes, and I was like, send me off with him. I've got, like, a little thing, and I had, the note, I had, anything I would really need for people to find me and to give them evidence that, then I took all the pills.
Yeah.
Oh, I made a playlist, actually.
Okay.
I made a playlist being like, all right, this some songs that I'll be hearing
meaningful
right before
stuff.
I go.
Yeah.
Just thinking of calming music stuff. So I had all that set up, took all the pills, and there was about, from what I remember, an hour and a half of me just sitting there and waiting.
Yeah.
And then obviously I felt all the symptoms coming on.
Yeah.
The sore stomach. You get, from my experience with OD, you get like tingly lips and your tip of your tongue tingles quite a bit. And then I started hallucinating as well, which is, I've had that twice.
Yeah.
From that experience. And then bit of a blackout from there. This random couple shakes me awake, and which is fair. At 7 a.m. it's kind of a weird sight seeing someone just completely sprawled out. So I get why they did it. I was obviously very annoyed at the time, but thank you for doing that, whoever you are. They were like, I need you to be honest with me. Have you had any drugs or alcohol? I was like, no. I was like slurring my words. I was not being very convincing of that at all. I remember them taking me to a picnic bench or something like that. And then that was the last thing I remembered. I had completely... Are you good? Dillo man's just changing the heating. Damn, couldn't be me. Warm guy. So that was just complete blank from there, and I woke up in hospital. Some nurse being like, "Oh, Siobhan!" Like, surprise! I must have been out for a bit, and she goes, "Do you know where you are?" And I'm very annoyed.
Took
like,
a guess.
I'm just like, Palmerston North Hospital, and she's like, "All right."
Yeah.
And the worst thing that I did after waking up, is I went to the bathroom, and tried again.
Oh, okay.
Because I was pissed.
Yeah.
I was like, because the whole time planning, I'm like, I better not fucking wake up in a hospital.
Yeah.
Because then you can deal with it all over again.
Yeah. And then you got the worst part, which is like, that sense of like, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Everything was planned.
Yeah. What's interesting, because you hear people say, oh, you immediately regret it.
Yeah.
It's just not the case all the time.
No.
Definitely wasn't the case that time. I had choked myself. That was the second method.
Yeah.
And that was in the bathroom. And I must have dropped over and hit my head in the toilet.
Yeah.
Because I woke up on the floor by the toilet and I had this right in the back, right in the side of my head there. I was so sore, and apparently it was really bruised.
Yeah.
And by that point, I'm like, I might as well just go to bed. Clearly, some force does not want me dead right now. That was where I was at. I was like, something's trying to keep me alive. I'm annoyed at it right now, but...
Yeah.
And I didn't, at this time, I didn't really tell anyone. I was like, I'll wait. Yeah. I'm obviously going to tell them, but...
Just for now.
Yeah. So I woke up 9 hours after the last thing I remember, but apparently I was conscious.
Okay. So probably concussion from hitting your head.
Well, no, before I woke up in the hospital, sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
And they say it's really common with the overdose I did. They said the specific medication they are known to have that, so just a complete blackout. Yeah. So apparently the word they used was combative with the paramedics. I can imagine us throwing hands at them, being like, get your fucking hands off me. But no recollection of that, so sorry to whoever that guy was who had to wrestle me that day. Yeah. But yeah. Apparently a lot happened in between that. I don't remember it all.
So then you wake up and you're in ED, and obviously they have to stabilize you and blah blah blah. So they do all that. And then how long do they come to you and be like, you're going to this ward, or do they talk to you, or is it like, well, how did that transition happen?
Yeah, so the process in the hospital, or in New Zealand health system in general, any hospital, if you attempt suicide and are in the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be seen by a crisis team before you do anything else.
Sure.
So I think I waited 4 hours, so it wasn't too long before the crisis team came to interview me.
Which is, sorry to say, shockingly fast.
I was thinking that. God, it must have been because of how fucked up I was. Cause it wasn't like I walked in ED and went, whoops.
Yeah.
I was actively avoiding the hospital, so I guess that's why they were like, oh, let's talk to her and see what's going on. And they had they took the suicide note out of my bag and kept it in the files. Yeah. But they were good where I actually had to give permission for them to read it. I think there must be a law or something, I don't know. Sure. But yeah, I was like, yep, read it. It'll give you a good understanding of, I don't have to talk to you guys about it, you can just read it. Yeah. And then, they said, we're going to give you 2 choices. Mm-hmm. Because you're still feeling suicidal. Mm-hmm. I can either discharge you, and you can be seen by community every week. Yeah. Or we can put you in Ward 21. Yeah. It is voluntary. Yeah. But I highly encourage you to go. Yeah. At this point, the fact that she'd encouraged, said I highly encourage you to go, kind of says something to me, at least. And I was still feeling very suicidal and didn't know what to do about it. So I agreed to go. And by 7 a.m. I was put into Ward 21. Yeah.
So, I guess for those who don't know, and Jesus Christ, Ward 21 is obviously the mental health ward.
Yeah, sure is.
I don't know if it has a name.
Well, usually they call it the mental health inpatient unit.
I mean, like, come on, give it a good name, guys.
I know.
You know. But it's affectionately known as the ward. Yeah. Or Ward 21.
Yeah, because there's community and there's inpatient. Yeah. And inpatient means you're staying there a while. Yeah. You've got your own room. Yeah. You know.
And the rooms are obviously individual rooms.
Yeah, they're individual rooms. They're weird. They're very weirdly set up. Yeah. The rooms are actually pretty good for hospital rooms. I wasn't mad at it.
At least it's there.
It had a desk.
Okay.
Which is really nice because I was able to actually study and that put my mind off things, so that was good. But they're all indoor, but they have a window that leads out into the hall with a little curtain. Yeah. And they tell you you're on 15-minute watch. Yeah. So some people get put on different times in between being watched. And they said, if you close your curtain at any point, we're just going to come in when we're checking up on you. Yeah. And I have had, unfortunately, someone walk in while I was getting changed. Happens, yeah. I kept it open all the time, and in the middle of the night, they come out with flashlights, and they shine it right over you, so you get woken up so often to have this bright light in your face. But that's basically how the rooms are set up. And then, there are 3 wings, 3 main wings. There's male, female, and then there's special needs units, what they call it, or something like that. I'm sure.
Other needs.
I can't remember. It's got a very. It's somewhere in that medical, ballpark. Yeah. And that's obviously for people that need a much higher surveillance, I guess. Yeah. There's like even a window from reception where they can watch over everyone.
Gotcha.
Wouldn't want to be there.
No.
But yeah.
And how long were you in there for?
The actual hospital 12 days.
Yeah.
The mental health ward 11 days. So almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is a long time. Okay. Yeah. Not as long as this guy over here.
Yeah, I was going to say, Cal's in there like...
12 days?
I was on probation for 12 days.
That's nothing. Yeah.
Was it... Do you think you made the right... Not in terms of... they gave you 2 choices. Stay in or go out. Do you think it's the right choice?
I think I made the right choice. I think if I chose the other option, I might not be here. Yeah. I don't trust that I wouldn't have just gone right back into it. Yeah. Because what I would have done is I wouldn't have told anyone. Yeah. I would have just discharged myself. Yeah. Gone home, pretended like it didn't happen, and tried again. Yeah. So I am glad I decided to go.
And do you you're in there for 12 days and stuff, but have you had to go back for like follow-ups or is it just released to your GP?
So there's basically a clearance you get.
Mm-hmm.
Once you're discharged from the mental health unit, you don't have to go back, but you're seen by community.
Okay.
So there's a separate area for mental health called community, and that's for people who just come in for an appointment and come out.
Gotcha.
So there you have a key worker, they call it, and so they're on your case.
Yeah.
The case being your mental health.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they just check up on you. So they'll call you, or they'll have you come in.
Yeah.
And they'll just check where you're at.
Yeah.
Check if you're still feeling suicidal and stuff.
Yeah.
I think I'm almost due to be discharged from community.
Cool.
I was told in my last phone call that they're going to discharge me next time they talk to me, unless something changes, of course.
Which is, I'm very happy to hear, obviously.
Yeah, I remember the first, because unfortunately I took it last year as well.
Yeah.
I remember it felt nice getting that discharge letter.
Yeah. And do you think, so you're obviously on medication, you've got a community health worker just checking up on you, but are you going to look at any other, like, therapy or...
Oh, yeah, I've already set all that up. I have a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So I have a regular counsellor I've been seeing since last October. She's actually the one who helped me get my ADHD diagnosed.
Great.
Within 10 minutes of talking to me, she's like, so?
Yeah, okay, cool.
I was like, oh, it's that obvious. All right. But she's been really good.
Yeah.
And I have what they call a health improvement practitioner.
Yeah.
That's an occupational therapist.
Yeah.
But she's basically helping me approach my pain mentally.
Great.
And I also see someone at Authentically You, which is a type of talk therapy, and I get 6 free sessions. I've just started with her, so
nice.
I talk to a lot of people.
Good, yeah, that's great.
And so it's there's always someone checking on me, which is good.
Yeah. Plus me.
Yeah,
and, like,
I guess.
all your mates are constantly like, what's going on?
Yeah, talk to me.
Although I must admit, you've been checking in on me.
Yeah, obviously.
As well, lately.
Friends do.
Yeah.
And then also a lot of times I'm like listening to podcasts and I'm like tell you what something I've heard. Yeah. This I wasn't a fan of this episode.
That one sucked.
It sucked, man.
It's too many Indian pies.
But yeah, no, I'll message you and be like,
yeah.
I actually relate to what you said because I'm usually listening to it when I'm like studying or doing dishes usually.
Oh, that's groovy.
Good, but
is there anything else you want to add to your story?
I'd love to just talk about my experience at the ward.
Go for it.
Because I feel like that's not something that's talked about a lot.
Yeah, well, that's a good point.
Everyone talks about, the
lead up
and
the
lead
after.
up, which is obviously very important, but I don't find a lot of people actually talk about how it was in the ward.
So the biggest question is, how was the food?
Oh, it was so fucked. If you have editing skills, you should edit that photo of the bread and butter pudding that I got.
You send it to me?
So funny. Yeah,
and
I will.
I'll
it's
put it in
hilarious.
right. Yeah.
I had to send it to Kels, and he got it like a few weeks ago as well. It's you. Okay, audience, you hear bread and butter pudding. What do you imagine? Or some nice soaked bread, a bit of jam, bit of meringue on top. It's hot, it's delicious.
It's a slice of dried Madeira slice.
It's literally bread on custard.
Yeah.
And the reason I found this out is because, like, obviously the crappy wooden spoons, because you can't have plastic or metal because it's 21.
Yeah.
And I go, like, man, this is really hard to get into. So I lifted it. It turned out I was scooping into a crust of bread, like the ass part of the bread.
Oh,
I've broken some wooden utensils in my time.
Same.
Yeah, there was a few meals that were just like kink.
I lost my shit. I was laughing. I mean, I probably, no one reacted because we're 21. They're like, yeah, that's about what I see every night, and I was just cracking up at this stupid bread and butter pudding. Because in the ward you get a sheet of paper with your name on it every morning, and you tick what you want. There's like 3 options, and for condiments it's salt and pepper.
Wow. Both spices.
Condiments.
Both condiments.
You're thinking like ketchup and stuff. Salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
But yeah, I picked it being like, man, I fucking love bread and butter pudding.
White sachets.
Yeah. But yeah, I picked it being like, I love bread and butter pudding. Hell yeah, this is exciting. I obviously forgot that I ticked it, and then I go, what?
Yeah, what is this?
What am I looking at right now? And the ice cream, if you get ice cream, it's just liquid because
it's
of
just a
how
milkshake.
long it takes to get to you. Nah, the food is... I mean, I will say, I actually had some that were decent.
Yeah.
They do their pasta stuff all right at the hospital.
Okay.
I had like it was like mince with pasta. I think they were trying to do like lasagna, but it wasn't.
I think they were
lasagna.
trying to do.
They were trying something, but it was quite nice. Yeah, the desserts were always yucky though.
Okay, so take us through, not obviously day 1 there or day 2, but maybe like from then on. Like, what was the average day?
Yeah, I will say like the first few days, I slept a lot.
Yeah.
Because the nature of because I overdosed on 2 types of medication.
Yeah.
One of them is I have to help you sleep.
Gotcha.
And because I took so much more, I imagine that's why I was knocked out. I could just close my eyes and I was back asleep. Like, it was insane. So first couple days, when I wasn't eating, I was sleeping.
Yeah.
By day 4, 5, I started going out of my room a little bit, things like that. So every morning I would be woken up by whoever was on my shift with water and my pills for the morning. This was usually at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And they go, by the way, breakfast is ready, go get it whenever. I usually get up right away just so I'm up and stuff. I have my breakfast and I usually go immediately back in my room. I just wasn't in the mood to socialise with people at this rate.
Yeah, fair call.
I was just not. Only the last 2 or 3 days of the ward was when I was actually actively talking to people and smiling and things. But
Gotcha.
So I would go back to my room, play a video game or have a nap or watch something on Netflix and wait until lunch.
Yeah.
Wait till they come over and go, lunch is ready, or I can hear it over the intercom. I have lunch. I go back to my room. Cry.
So you don't eat in your room like you do the rest of the wards?
You could. That was an option.
Okay.
So you could just grab the tray and go in, but I kind of made that decision pretty early on that I shouldn't be going into my room to eat because it's just going to encourage me to stay in my room literally the whole day.
Yeah.
And sometimes there was an activity on, and I might do that. Like, they have a thing called, like, skills group, and it was just occupational therapists talking about, like, managing emotions and stuff. Those are okay. I'd have dinner, then I get my dinner meds.
Yeah.
Go back, I'd usually have, like, a hot chocolate or something.
Yeah.
They had Milo all the time.
Oh, nice.
Well, not all the time. By 8, they take everything away. I'm like, fuck you, I want a 2 a.m. Milo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have coffee, but obviously it's decaf because you don't want any of that happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do a lot for a lot of that time. It was a lot of nothing. I felt like crap. I didn't shower until day 4 or 5.
Gross. Yeah.
Thank you. I agree. It's gross, but hey, that's depression, man.
Yeah, I know.
I hate when people, because sometimes people on social media will say that, like, when I'm depressed, I can't shower, I can't brush my teeth, and people in the comments are like, that is so gross. It's like, I know.
I totally get it.
I know it's gross. That's the whole deal. Depression is disgusting.
Yeah. It's not nice.
It's gross. So I think it is good that we should normalize saying things like that.
It's also like, it also goes the other way. It's like, when you're depressed, you don't exactly get up and make yourself a salad.
No.
You just tend to slap something on bread.
You go, okay, I
whatever's
should
the
probably
fuck is the
eat
easiest
something.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And the minimal amount you can eat. You tend, like, I know for me, like, when I'm really low, I'll just be like, I have pain because I haven't eaten for hours, for whatever.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, I'm going to eat what is the least amount? Like, if I can find a piece of ham, I'm like, that's good.
Absolutely.
Like, that'll keep me going.
I usually slap some peanut butter and a bit of bread, and I'm set. Just one piece of bread, and just fold that shit together.
Toast is amazing too.
Yeah, toast is classic.
Yeah, because it's comforting.
It's so comforting. But yeah.
See, because
it's gross.
My thoughts, my imagination of the ward would be like. Admittedly, this imagination comes heavily influenced from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Right, because I'm a massive Jack Nicholson man.
Yeah.
But like for them, it was like, okay, 11 o'clock is group, 1 o'clock is individual, one-on-one therapy,
Yeah, it honestly wasn't that hands-on, which I'm gonna say is not a good thing.
Okay.
so they had, like I said, this skills thing, and they'd open the pool and things. Those are all optional.
Yeah.
You weren't forced to do anything.
Yeah.
But take your meds. Really. Other than that, that's kind of it. But I was seen by the psychiatrist on like day 4.
Yeah.
I never got like an initial check-in. Like they do like OBS, and they do a full a physical.
Yeah, sure.
I never got that the entire time I was there, which is very concerning. Yeah, I didn't get a physical. I get OBS checked every night, like after dinner. They come into your room.
Maybe they did that though when you first came in.
No, but a physical you have to be awake for, because it's so it's like testing the neurological stuff. They hit you with that silly little hammer, like that's a part of the physical. So they can't really do that when you're
I can see why you're bummed. I've always wanted that little hammer.
Oh, I know the hammer very well.
Okay.
I got it with every seizure I had. They'd have to test it, but so there wasn't a lot going on, which
that's surprising.
I didn't like that there wasn't a lot going on, because it just meant I was melting away in that little room.
Yeah.
They opened the art room for a few of those days, and that part I really liked, because I love doing art. I've always found it really therapeutic. I did some paintings. I randomly sketched. That was actually the most therapeutic thing. Yeah. And that was good, talking to people while you paint and stuff.
Yeah.
Gave my mum a painting I made.
Oh, that's lovely.
An award for her. So they had, like, every day they had something you could do. Like, sometimes they'd do a walk. Everyone would go in a group and have a walk around the ward. So scenic.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, it was all just like, we encourage you to go. Just do it if you want, though.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And staff are good?
Staff are pretty good. You get some annoying people from time to time.
That's the whole hospital, though. I mean,
it's people you don't click with, and they piss you off, and obviously you're not in a good space mentally, so it's really easy for people to piss you off.
Yeah.
But I had some really lovely people.
Nice.
My nurse on my discharge day was really sweet, and she gave me a hug before I left.
That's lovely.
Yeah, no, for the most part, the staff were pretty good and easy to talk to.
Yeah.
And things like that. So that's really nice.
Yeah.
It's a little dehumanizing, but there's not much they can do about it.
Yeah.
Because there's things that they have to take away for your safety.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of that means a lot of your dignity is taken away. And the whole time, like, I understand why you're doing this, but I'm not happy about it.
Yeah.
Like, my deodorant at the time was in a glass container, and I wasn't allowed glass in my room. So every morning and night, I'd have to go up to the front desk and go, hey, could I have my deodorant?
Yeah.
And you couldn't have chargers. So I would have to hand my phone in every night to put it on charge and ask for it back in the morning. And obviously no locks.
Yeah.
That was the hardest one, obviously. Because one time there was another patient who was having like an episode, I guess I would say, like an attack or something. And she was panicking and opening all the doors. And she opened it while I was peeing. And I was like, I know she doesn't care that I'm peeing, but that really sucks.
Yeah.
That you can't, like, because you can turn the lock and it indicates that it's being used,
but it doesn't
actually lock.
Yeah.
And I had a mini panic attack when I went to go on for the shower for the first time.
Yeah, fair call.
I don't want to be naked, and it's like, but I explained it to one of the nurses, there's another like care worker there separate. They're not nurses, but they assist with stuff, and they were really nice, and they locked it from the outside and waited for me on the outside. So that was really sweet. But yeah, it was just a very different experience, and you just didn't feel like a person the whole time. I was just floating around. Yeah. Really. Yeah. That was it. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't recommend it. I recommend it if you need it, but
I mean, obviously, yeah.
It's not fun. It's not.
It's not a holiday.
It's not something you're choosing to do. It's not like, oh yay, I get to. Yeah. So.
Cool. Well, thank you for sharing.
That was it.
You know what you're gonna have to do now.
Yeah. Lighten the mood.
No. I was gonna say no. We can end it there. Like, well, you got to give us a before you jump.
Oh.
We can give you a few minutes if you need to.
Yeah, let's chat about other stuff, and I'll think about it.
While you're doing that,
Yeah.
if you're watching this on YouTube, brilliant. But I don't know if you guys know. Cal's knows, so I told him. We now have a TikTok.
Oh.
Yeah, and we're going to film a little thing for TikTok after this.
I fuck with that.
Okay, yeah,
Alright,
cool. So
alright.
we've got one video. We've got 2 videos up there now. So we've got a TikTok, and as of today, we have a Twitter with nothing on it.
Twitter.
So we're now on all the social medias. Oh no, we're not on Instagram. I'll sort that out. But we're on. Yeah, now we're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Yeah. So if you're watching this,
around the platforms.
yeah, we'll put all the links up to everything, obviously. So that's quite cool. But we need
Awesome.
content is the thing.
Do need content.
Yeah, I actually messaged Cows the other day and I was like, hey, what if we went out onto the street and just randomly interview people and ask them, like, what do you think of New Zealand mental health? Or, like, what is your mental health right now?
I would really enjoy that. I think
that'd be quite cool, eh?
I can guarantee just with how New Zealanders are, they'll have something to say.
Oh,
we're very
100%.
It's weird. We have so many mental health problems, but I think we're getting to a point where everyone's so open about it these days.
I think we're starting to get there, eh?
At least my generation definitely are.
I 100% agree with you guys. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll meet someone for the first time. They're like, yeah, I tried to kill myself. Like they're so open about it.
It's funny, like, living through, like, I look 2 ways, and it's like, I look at my dad, and he's always said, like, you know, he was brought up in the generation where you don't talk about these things, and you know, you don't show affection, you know, dads don't hug sons, sort of thing.
Yeah.
That sort of staunch thing, even though the love is 100% there.
Yeah, totally.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
it's
just how they're raised. Yeah.
It's shown in other ways, you know, like, yep, dad gets up and goes to work every day, and that's how he shows me he loves me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
like, and then it's like mine and Cal's age, you know, fucking knocking on 40. As my kids remind me all the fucking time.
I bet they love to do that.
They really do. And it's like we start to appreciate it, but still it's quite hard to talk about.
Yeah, because you were raised
like that.
Yeah. That makes sense.
A bit more affectionate, you know, but like still quite, you know.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, the younger generations come out, even my kids, it's like it's way more talked about.
We talk about it all the time.
And it's so good.
It's very freeing, I will say. It's nice. It's so nice just being able to be so casual with your friend, being like, my anxiety's going crazy right now.
Yeah.
And your friend won't be like, oh, they won't, like, because you're worried, you always worried you're panicking your friend.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't talk about it, because it's a type of burden.
It.
Whereas, you know, with a lot of the way that my friends and I talk about stuff like that, it's kind of like, you obviously check in on them, but it's not that big. It's not they don't make a big thing, which makes it easy to talk about.
Yeah.
So I like that.
It's even like the other day, one of our friends was like, hey, I want to organise a writing session. And it was on a big group chat, and I had to message him separate, but I was like, bro, I really want to do this with you, but I just cannot this week.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm getting slammed hard. And he was just like, 100% get it.
Yeah.
He's like, if you need something, ask,
Absolutely.
but otherwise, cool,
That's
man.
how it should be approached. It should be like, I'm checking in on you, but I'm not going to be dramatic about it.
Yeah.
That's about it. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
I love that.
It is nice to see.
It's just I think it's our generation and the generation before us that need to get better.
Yeah.
I think.
Or you'll die first. I don't know.
Well, probably.
Who knows?
My cholesterol
Stubborn.
continues, no problem.
Yeah.
Do you have it before you jump?
I did. I have one has come to mind.
Oh, brilliant! All right.
During that time.
Do it right into that one.
I'll lead into why I'm saying.
Okay,
and
no,
then
yeah,
and then I'll do the final punch, the final kick.
Yeah.
So I was kind of thinking that I was talking this about the one of the many mental health people I see.
Yeah.
There's a thing that people who are suicidal do where we rationalize our thoughts somehow.
Yeah.
And looking back, you can be like, well, that is an irrational thought, clearly.
Yeah.
I needed someone to just tell me, hey, you need to explain to me why this makes sense. And if you can't explain it, we need to work on it.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So if you had someone to talk to about it, they can challenge those thoughts.
Okay.
So I think that's something that's not talked about a lot, is actually challenging negative thoughts.
Yeah.
Is being, like, for me, I get, as someone with ADHD, I get rejection and sensitive dysphoria, which is I get a slight negative feeling from someone and I go, they hate me. I've pissed them off. And I've had to, in my head, go, what on earth would you have possibly done within this 10 seconds to piss them off? So that's challenging a negative thought.
Yeah.
So to that, I would say, before you jump,
oh, look at this.
Tell someone. Literally. I reckon it's that simple. Well, obviously not simplifying how hard it is, but if you just tell someone you're suicidal, I can't guarantee this to everyone, but a good chunk of the time, you'll be able to challenge those suicidal thoughts with logic, and it stops you from going into the spiral of rationalization. Yeah. You know?
I guess that's also good to mention, like, if someone comes to you, challenge them.
Yeah. You don't
Don't be afraid to challenge them.
Absolutely. You need to be a bit harsh, because suicidal thoughts are harsh.
Yeah.
You need to fight fire with fire, really.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. I definitely encourage you to challenge someone if they tell you.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Anything to add, big man?
No.
Not very chatty today, mate.
No, you were telling a story and then it's over.
Oh, it's over.
It's over for now. We'll do another episode.
Kelly wanted more.
Alright, everyone. Have a good week.
Love ya.